Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, I'm here with news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with news. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty good news. And the news very simply is, and I've kind of told you this before, but I think I'm going to keep telling you. I'm going to keep bringing you news and information and new facts, etc. Because you know what? It needs to be said. Those supply issues we've got in Pokemon at the moment, yeah, they're going to get better. And I'll be honest with you, this video was brought on by a tweet from the lovely Poketage, lovely dude, just at Poketage over on Twitter. Someone you should be following, someone you should be checking out on YouTube. And sent out a tweet, and I kind of knew this already, but I hadn't really been thinking about this lately. And the tweet said this: March 2021, Pokemon card situation in English-speaking countries versus Pokemon card situation in Japan. In Japan, they had their famous card drought in 2018 after a 400% increase in demand. There is hope. Be patient and wait for production to ramp up. Don't give in to scalpers. Now, this is what I have been telling you all the way along, because it's true. This is where we are. And it will get better. But it's very interesting that the same thing happened in Japan. I mean, this is an image from a US store that Poketage did include. And here is an image over in Japan. Now, if we look at this image over in Japan, it is a thing of absolute beauty, because what we've essentially got there is many, many sets, all in stock, all ready to be bought. But if you go back 3 years, it wasn't the case in Japan. Back in 2018, Japan was having what we are going through now. And that is that when you go into a shop, there is nothing on the shelves, and you're struggling to basically buy anything. Now, Poketage did go into a little bit more detail here, and stop me if this sounds just a little bit familiar. Huge Japanese YouTuber did a video on Pokemon cards with the launch of the $5 GX Starter Decks. Demand surged and queues a mile long to most stores, shelves empty, and they couldn't keep up with demand for months until production increased and reprints of standard format sets. Very popular YouTuber doing a video on Pokemon cards, leading to a massive surge that led all stores to be sold out for a little while. That does sound just a tiny weensy bit like exactly what's happening over here at the moment. And I still, on a daily basis, see people saying things along the lines of, well, I don't see how it's going to get better anytime soon. Really? Now remember, at this stage, I do need to remind you, and this is a very important thing, Pokemon have put out an official, I want to say, it's not really a press release, but they put out an official statement about supply. And I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, and I'm going to keep mentioning it because I keep seeing people making comments to the effect of, well, Pokemon need to reprint more. Pokemon need to up their supply. They are. They have literally already told us that they're going to. They put out a statement a couple of weeks ago saying they are actively working to print more of the impacted Pokemon TCG products as quickly as possible and at maximum capacity to support the increased demand. And they said they will continue to reprint the products to replenish stock at retailers as soon as possible. But there's another weird parallel that we can draw between Japan's situation in 2018 and our situation now. You see, Poketage mentioned in his tweet about the 400% increase in demand. Well, remember a week or so ago I showed you that Licensing Biz ran a story, and one of the things they mentioned was that in the past 3 years there had been a 319% increase in demand. No company can instantly deal with that kind of an increase in demand. It's not possible. If you can, I mean, essentially, right, when we talk in business terms, let's drop some business knowledge on you. We talk about capacity utilization. And capacity utilization basically refers to the amount of the maximum that you could make that you currently are making. So 100% is every single possible product you can make, you are currently making. And 90% means, well, you're working at 90% capacity. If you're able to make 1 million, you're making 900,000. There's a bit of wiggle room. And in business terms, you don't want to operate at 100% capacity utilization. That is not a good thing. Because if you have an unusually large order, you have to turn it down and give up money. It means there's no wiggle room if demand increases, and you should have a little bit of spare capacity so that if demand does increase, you can meet it. And I don't know for a fact, I'm not working in Pokemon's factories, but unless they are just about the worst run factories in the history of the world, this is what Pokemon would have done. They would have had a bit of spare capacity. But what we've basically seen over the past 6 months-ish to a year maybe, is we've seen big YouTubers grabbing on it, we've seen scalpers coming on it, we have seen the Pokemon 25th anniversary coming in, and we have basically seen a bunch of things which have all led to an increase in demand. And the thing is that these escalate on each other. So we end up seeing that ordinary people that aren't particularly interested in Pokemon cards, they used to be, but they've kind of dropped off it. Well, it's all over the news and it's all over their Facebook feed, so all of a sudden they get interested. And weirdly enough, the increase in demand can sometimes lead to an increase in demand because it makes it the hot product and everyone wants in on the hot product. Then, of course, you build in the whole damn panic thing and supply gets dried up. And let's say Pokemon used to be working at 90% capacity. I don't know if that's true, but let's just say they were. Well, all of a sudden, capacity drops 30, 40%, and actually, they can't even make that. Not only is demand going up, but factories, because of people not going into work, and various other reasons around the pandemic, plus shipping, of course, which means you can't get products to people, and we see this massive increase in demand at a time when Pokemon actually have lowered their capacity, so they can't make as much as they would want to make while demand is increasing, and that's what leads to shortages. And then, of course, shortages lead to scalpers going and buying up product, and I have absolutely no time and patience. I've seen people trying to defend them. No. It's scummy. You are literally just buying stuff off the shelves to sell to people that wanted to buy it at an increased profit to you. It's not entrepreneurial. It's not clever. You are basically rushing into stores to buy stuff from under people's noses and resell it to them for a profit. It's not big. It's not clever. Don't do it. Seriously. But the good news for us and the bad news for scalpers is, as I started this video saying, things will only get better. And for some reason, there is this thing where if you play a game, you have to constantly insult the company that make it. When I talk about Digimon, people are always insulting Bandai. When I play Fantasy Flight games, people are always insulting them. When I play Pokemon, people are always insulting TPCI. I don't get it. Pokemon are a profit-making company. They are going to keep reprinting. What is happening right now, and I don't know this for a fact, obviously, but taught business for a decade and a half, kind of know what I'm talking about. What is happening behind the scenes right now is Pokemon are increasing production. And they're going to keep increasing production. Remember, there are two options when you are producing products, okay? There are two options. Either you risk overproduction and losing money when you have to resell them for a lower price, or sell them for a lower price, or you risk underproduction and giving up sales. Right now, Pokemon cannot keep stock on the shelves, which means that decision is made for them. Pokemon at the moment are not going, well, do we risk underprinting or overprinting? They are just printing as fast as they can because they know it's going to get sold. And it is going to get sold. And we are going to turn around in 3 years' time, and it's not going to take that long, but I'm saying that's the same gap we've had in Japan, and our shelves are going to look more like this again. And when shelves are looking like this, scalpers are going to go away. Now, it is worth mentioning that a few people did reply to Poketaj's tweet and say it's not quite as sunny as it looks in that particular picture, but it's not bad. So, SO Resistance chimed in Japan, we're close to drought again. This is my local store's view of yesterday. Most items are out of stock. But I believe the Pokemon Company will reprint them rapidly and will restock them in stores soon again. Why do they say that? Because they've seen it happening. Collectophile says, we have a rolling drought in Japan right now, but restocks come in pretty often. I was able to walk into a shop and grab a box of Shiny Star V today after months of hit or miss availability, so at the very least they are definitely trying to keep up with demand. And that's kind of my point here. I am not saying that we're going to wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden shelves are going to be overflowing with Pokemon products. I am saying that Pokemon are going to aggressively reprint. They are going to go and buy more factory space. They might open a new factory themselves, or they're going to buy more factory space. And they are going to drastically increase production. And when they drastically increase production, supply is going to be better. Scalpers are going to go away. A lot of this I have mentioned in previous videos, but I thought seeing that example from Japan really was a great way to look at it. Because 3 years ago, Japan were where we are now. And it's not perfect. Pokemon is still fantastically popular. Remember, over in Japan, if you want to enter a 1,500-person tournament, you have to apply online and be selected by lottery. The tournaments are that popular and oversubscribed. But product is out there. Products are on the shelves. And scalping is not a problem in Japan like it is over here. Because products are out there, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So the message of this is very much one of hope. Things will get better. We just got to give Pokemon a little bit of time to actually get the printers rolling. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Poketage for sharing that information, making my life a little bit easier. But now I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think about this. I want to know how hopeful you are for the future. Go nuts, but remember, probably in this video more than most, be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.